It's Wednesday, January 21st, 2026, and we have a major problem approaching this week. Starting Friday, a significant winter storm is expected to hit the southeastern United States, bringing heavy snow, ice, and freezing rain. Areas such as Houston, Texas, Little Rock, Arkansas, and Nashville, Tennessee could see up to 20 inches of snowfall. While playing in snow may sound enjoyable, this storm will create serious real-world problems. This storm will impact power infrastructure, travel, and water pipelines due to freezing temperatures. Grocery stores are already running low on essential supplies needed for those who may be snowed in for 4 to 5 days. Additionally, this system is projected to be the largest winter storm the region has experienced since 2021, and it has the potential to make history. A particular concern is the threat of freezing rain, which will fall as liquid rain and freeze rapidly upon contact with the ground, especially around Birmingham, Alabama. So in today's forecast, I will break down exactly what you need to know about this upcoming winter storm, why it's so dangerous, and how to prepare for it. And I want to begin with our total snowfall rates, as this is how we can see how much snowfall we will be seeing over the next 7 to 10 days. So starting off right now, this is what things are sort of looking like. We've got a pretty decent amount of snow up here in Michigan, into parts of Pennsylvania and New York. But then I really just want to highlight as we move on into Friday, because this is what we're here to talk about. That's when the system will start to pick up. So as we move on into Friday, you can see some snow start to develop in the Texas and Oklahoma panhandle, even down to parts of Norman and Oklahoma City. And this does enter Little Rock, Arkansas, and then more southern parts of New Mexico. And this does continue to move through the Texas Panhandle and then through Oklahoma City, Norman, Oklahoma, Little Rock, Arkansas, even parts of Pine Bluff, into northern Mississippi, into parts of Huntsville and Florence, Alabama. And this system does continue just to highlight the other parts instead of far south. But it really continues, as we move on in the days, it's just continuing to move back up to the northeast. And this is all driven by a high pressure system that we have right here as we move on into Tuesday. But areas like Oklahoma City, Little Rock, Arkansas could be seeing up to probably in the teens or maybe even around 20 inches of snowfall, which is an insane amount of snow if you're in the darker areas like this. It does sort of start to creep into parts of northern Georgia, northern Alabama, and northern Mississippi. But overall, that does not do too much. Our main concern for the more southern states will be just ice accumulation with freezing rain. Mainly freezing rain, though. We could be seeing up to probably about 1.5 inches of just straight ice. Just a straight layer of ice right here in the southern states. That is what our total snowfall rates are looking like as we move on into next Wednesday. Now, if we take a look at our snow depth in inches, this is what things are looking like right now, and nothing is too crazy. Until we move on into Friday, which is about 2 days from now, snow does start to creep in, and will be more favorable for the southern states. If you're looking at the snow depth instead of the total snowfall, this is all the snow that we could be seeing, especially around parts of like Georgia. If you watch this back on replay, watch how fast this system fires up. So starting off right now about Friday, as we move on into Friday, this is what it will be looking like. And watch how fast this system does start to fire off on all the snow depth. Right where this curve is where most of the freezing rain will be occurred in like Birmingham, Alabama. And just keep in mind that freezing rain does fall as liquid rain, but then sticks as ice. So that would be a pretty big concern, and it puts a lot of weight on the power lines and the tree branches, so the tree branches could be falling off. I'll put up a picture on the screen somewhere of a chart showing what the trees will look like before freezing rain and after freezing rain. So if you have a tree you really care for, I recommend you probably cover it up in something to where the freezing rain can't get to it. This will also put a lot of weight on power lines once it freezes too. And once it falls onto the road, then it will stick as ice, and then it will make it harder for the service crews to get out there to fix the power line because of how icy it will be. So this will cause some big problems, especially for people's power. So make sure you have a generator on hand, a space heater, anything like that you can do to make sure you stay safe, because if you are without power, you will not have heat. Make sure if you do have a generator, you don't have it inside the house unless you have an electric generator, but make sure that if it's gas powered, it's outside the house for obvious reasons. So yeah, that's pretty much what our total snowfall rates are looking like. Areas that we couldn't see in the total snowfall. Once we get over here to the snow depth, we can see like northern Alabama wasn't supposed to see anything, but now they could be seeing up to 13, 14, 15 inches around my neck of the woods, 17 inches into Georgia, and even parts of Mississippi. Around Pine Bluff, Arkansas, 21 inches, Dallas around 17 inches, Nashville, Tennessee, 17, 16, 18. North Carolina, South Carolina, parts of Georgia, 24 inches. But this will bring pretty much a significant amount of snow and ice to more of the southern states. Yesterday it was pretty hard to predict where this will actually go. As we get closer and closer and closer to the actual snowstorm, we can predict more accurately. But we will make sure to continue posting every single day to keep y'all updated on everything. But now I want to go ahead and take a look at our total freezing rain in inches. And I'll really highlight that Birmingham, Alabama area, as this is where we'll be seeing most of the freezing rain. So as we move on into Thursday and into Friday, nothing too crazy happens. Till we get later into Friday, we get some freezing rain start to fire up around Wichita, Texas, into the Panhandle. And this sort of just does continue to build up as time goes on, especially around like the Dallas area and even just north of Houston and areas like that. And then we have a lot of freezing rain start to move into parts of Alabama, which will bring a insane amount of freezing rain, which I'm not sure if y'all can see the chart at the bottom, but if you can, that color right there, that's up to 1.62, 2.33 inches of straight ice, which I'll probably put the chart up on the bottom of the screen. And if you look at that, round number 2, that is the max you can go in the chart. And if you look at Birmingham, Alabama, and even around Huntsville, that is what we are seeing right there. That is the same exact thing as the bottom of the chart. Now I'm going to be breaking down how you can prepare for this winter storm and what you need to do. The grocery store scramble has already begun, so make sure to hurry up and run to the store, get groceries. It's not quite time to buy bread and milk, but make sure to go get essentials that you would need and food that will last for longer times, like water, cereal, and just some snacks. If you don't have a space heater yet, make sure you go ahead and get a space heater or 2. I know there are some places that rent out generators if y'all don't have a generator, but most likely power will be out, especially around like the Huntsville to Birmingham, Alabama area, and all those areas that I showed that will be seeing an insane amount of total freezing rain. So make sure to get like a space heater if you don't have it. I recommend having a generator if you don't already have one. If it's electric, you can keep it inside. I recommend you probably keep it in like the garage if it's electric. But if it's gas powered, don't keep it in the garage. You can keep it probably just outside of your garage, as it will release a bunch of fumes that you don't need to breathe in, and it's also a potential fire hazard. Make sure you have all of the blankets, heating stuff you need to stay warm, and what you need to be fed and hydrated. As we move on into tomorrow and into early on Friday morning, that's when you should go get your bread and milk. I recommend probably doing it either tonight or into tomorrow morning, as grocery stores are really starting to sell out. So make sure you get it before they are all sold out. You'll get some gas for your generators. If they're gas powered, charge up your electric generators. Make sure your phone is charged into Thursday night on into Friday and Saturday before you lose power. Make sure you pretty much just have everything that you need to stay safe. I recommend staying inside, not saying not to go play in the snow, but if you do, don't stay out there for too long, as frostbite is a really big concern out of this same system. Don't slip on the ice. This ice can be crippling. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to follow me for more weather updates. I post every single day. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.